Okay, hello. Here is my video about models of probability in the future, and you can find more details about this topic in the book Grammar and Beyond Essentials 2 in Unit 23. And let's get it started, guys. Before we move on, I want you to think of these questions and write your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. Will life in the future be better or worse? Or what will be the same or different in 2050? Thank you. Okay, now let's look at the interview with a futurist. So we ask Mr. Futurist what he thinks about the future, what will be different and what will be better, what will be worse. And here are some of his thoughts. So please look at this interview, read it for 1 minute, 2 minutes, and we're going to discuss it in more detail. Okay, so here are some of the sentences taken from the interview with the futurist. We're going to look at the sentences, especially the words in bold, and I want you to answer these questions here. There are 4 questions regarding these 6 sentences taken from the interview. So for answering these questions, you will have 1 minute. Thank you. You can pause the video. Okay, let's discuss it together. Guys, these sentences are surely giving us information about the future and predictions maybe about the future. And if we ask the futurist if he's 100% sure in every sentence, is it possible to be sure, for him to be sure in every sentence, 100%? No, not actually. We're going to discuss it in more detail, and surely we see that all these sentences are possibilities or maybe predictions. They're not facts. That could change. There is a chance of changing. And are they likely to happen? This is a good question. Guys, we don't know. Some of them are, but some of them aren't. We don't really know if they're likely to happen. But some of them are. Okay. We're going to explain it in more detail. We said that some of them are possible to see. Some of the sentences are possible to see in the future, but some of them are not, maybe, or they have less possibility. There's a low possibility of that. We're going to explain now some of the model words that could be used for future probability. The first one, I would say, the future forms. The future forms, like will and be, going to, we already covered these topics anyway. We're certain about the future. We know that they're true and they're likely, very likely to happen. And mostly we have evidence, of course, like schools and education will be quite different. Well, technology will be the most important thing. Surely these future forms they give us a really high possibility of finding an advanced technology, and of course the schools and education will be quite different, as we're going to start using more online teaching tools and sources. Of course, like these are we're certain about the future, and cities are going to be bigger in the future. People are going to settle in larger cities to find, so there will be more centralization. So these were also from the interview anyway. So you see that we're quite sure that we're going to go through these changes. Okay? Alright, so we don't have to use any models in this case. However, let's look at this. Cities cannot become smaller in the future. The economy can't get worse than today. There can't be any changes in the statistics next year, for example. So we have seen that can't. We use it for if we are almost certain that something is impossible in the future. We usually express our strong disbelief or surprise. So the economy can't get worse than today. Just like in the interview, we'll give you it is not certain. It is certain that it will be it won't be actually much more better than today, but it can't get worse. That is how the futurist explained it. And also, cities cannot become smaller in the future. We know that cities will become larger in the future, so we're almost certain that it's impossible to find smaller cities. And there can't be any changes in the statistics next year, so this means that I'm not expecting. So if something happens, if the opposite happens, if there will be some changes in the statistics, I would be surprised. I will be surprised, guys. So I express my own strong disbelief on this. I'm saying that it is impossible. And let's look at some other modal verbs. Should be, should and shouldn't, surely. So there should be an increase in the use of distance learning in 2050. Guys, should, we are fairly certain. So it is even less than almost certain, like we discussed earlier. So when we are fairly certain about the future, often because when we have evidence, we say that, yeah, there should be an increase in the use of distance learning, for example. We know that there are some things, some online sources, some online teaching tools are there. We're working on that, and online teaching is not a dream. So there should be an increase in the use of distance learning. So we are basically assuming that it is possible. And public transport should be different than today, since there will be electric cars for everyone. Well, electric cars will make a difference, and that's what I'm expecting. So there should be, public transport should be different. I'm expecting it to be different. And human labor as well shouldn't be important because of robots. There will be robots anyway, and human labor, people will not. We're likely to use robots for our everyday work, everyday tasks. So human labor shouldn't be as important as now, you know. And it shouldn't be difficult to see the lack of water resources. Well, more populated areas, more populated cities, more population, so melting of ice and whatever. So there will be lack of water resources, so it shouldn't be difficult to see. We believe that, well, we're not saying that it will be exactly like this, but we are kind of sure about this because we see the evidence. like the melting of icebergs in Antarctica, the increase in the population or whatever. So it is mostly like this. It is difficult to see. All right. We're going to look at may, might, and could. So just like we did in present probability lesson, we're not sure, but we're making an educated guess. Again, I'm going to try to explain what an educated guess is. That is a guess that we make by using our judgment and a particular level of knowledge, and is therefore more likely to be correct in our opinion. So I think family life could change a lot. So we're saying that family life could change. It is not certain, but statistics may show it. And also in these sentences you see that they're less likely to be happening when you compare it to should, when you compare it to will, are going to, they're fairly, they're not certain. We're just making a guess. So more people may live in one house together. Well, is it really 100% sure? Is it 80%? Is it 60%? Whatever. So more or less 50%, I would say. So we might have better public transportation in the future. Well, are we really sure of this? But as you see, we're just making a judgment. We use our level of knowledge, and it is maybe 50%. We're sure about using the public transportation in the future. So will it be better or not? We don't know. We're not sure. So possibility. Okay. We're just making our guess. And as I told you before, guys, don't forget to use the base form of our work 1 in our and also, as I told you before, the percentages might help you with understanding the difference between these different modal verbs, guys. And I want you to avoid some common mistakes. As I told you, well, we have no present or future probability form of can, so forget about that. So it's 11 o'clock, but they can still be awake. We're not talking about any probability here. Could, may, might would make it better because we use it for even present and future probability. We don't use can for present or future probability, guys. So also do not use couldn't when you aren't certain. Okay, so when you are uncertain, when you're not sure, use can't, may not, might not, or shouldn't according to the certainty probability. So she can't be in a meeting right now. I'll check and see. And you can't say she couldn't when you're uncertain. And also, the most important thing, do not confuse maybe with maybe. So the situation may be, may as a modal verb, and our verb be, and maybe as our adverb, maybe things will change. Okay, so don't confuse them. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Now you can move on to the exercises prepared for you, and I'm sure the exercises will help you with understanding the difference. They are so beneficial. You'll see that. Have a great day. Hope everything will be better. Thank you. Take care. Bye.